to the majority. The reason this is important is that it's going to be at minimum a 50-50 Senate, which is what we've been having here so far. So even if Democrats lose the runoff in early December in Georgia between Herschel Walker and Senator Raphael Warnock, guess what? It's still 50-50. They could go to 51-49. The reason is that you have Vice President Harris, who can potentially break ties there.
Fox's Chad Pergram. Now to President Biden's overseas trip, which is underway in Cambodia. Fox's Kevin Uretsky has more on that.
The president addressed the Association of Southeast Asian Nations Summit in Cambodia Saturday, pledging that the group of countries is key to his policy goals for the region.
Together, we will tackle the biggest issues of our time, from climate to health security, defend against the significant threats of rule-based order, and to threats to the rule of law.
As an example of the commitment, the president cited the $250 million pledged by his administration over the last several years to the ASEAN nations. The president will meet with the leaders of South Korea and Japan Sunday before heading to Bali for the G20 summit and a highly anticipated first-ever face-to-face meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping, scheduled for Monday.
Fox's Kevin Uretsky.
Did you hear the news? Now you can. With instant updates from Fox News for Amazon Alexa. Just say,
Alexa, play news from Fox in Fox News.
it's the latest when you need it. On demand from Fox News and Amazon Alexa. Fox News headlines 24/7. Sirius XM channel 115. Every 15 minutes, news, sports, business, weather, and what's trending. The latest headlines continue right now.
Fox News headlines 24/7. Russia saying they're withdrawing troops from a key port city. Fox's Greg Palcott's got more on that.
There is joy in the southern Ukrainian city of Kherson, but still some tough times ahead. After 8 months of Russian occupation, residents experienced their first full day without Moscow in charge. Still giddy with freedom, locals were out waving flags, hugging newly arrived Ukrainian troops, singing patriotic songs. Kyiv moving fast to stabilize things. Police arriving, power, water, food, medicine, communications either being rushed in or repaired. Russian troops left the city and region, making their way on a makeshift bridge across a nearby river. The other bridge is blown up. The latest reports say some Russian soldiers remain in the area, clashing with Ukrainian forces or trying to blend in.
Fox's Greg Palcott there. Well, Britain going to pause for a 2-minute silence Sunday to remember the nation's war dead. It'll be the first time that King Charles III will lead the Remembrance Day service as monarch. Charles and other royals and senior politicians will lay wreaths in central London to pay tribute to the sacrifices made by fallen servicemen and women. Albanian opposition supporters are protesting the country's cost of living crisis, which they blame on the center-left government. The protest began peacefully, but at the end, some crossed the police line and sprayed red paint on the main doors of the government building, with at least one protester taken away from the scene. The son of a World War II Auschwitz death camp hero seeking millions in compensation from the Polish government for his dad's post-war arrest and execution by the country's communist authorities at the time. A nearly $5.7 million compensation is wanted in the case, which opened Thursday. It's expected to have another session in January. And federal prosecutors are asking a judge to sentence disgraced Theranos CEO Elizabeth Holmes to 15 years in prison. They're arguing she deserves a lengthy prison term because her massive scheme duped investors out of hundreds of millions of dollars. America's listening to Fox News.
Fox News headlines 24/7, 5 and 35 past every hour. The latest in sports is coming up next. Fox News.
You're listening to Sirius XM Radio.
Get the latest Fox weather from America's Weather Team every 15 minutes. Fox News headlines 24/7, Sirius XM channel 115.
Sports at 5 and 35 on Fox News headlines 24/7. I'm Bob Mortale. After trailing 17-7 to Ole Miss, 9th-ranked Alabama managed to avoid a second straight defeat.
3rd down to go. Law comes in tight on the right side. Young's looking that way. Throws late, got it. Brooks for the touchdown.
Courtesy CBS Sports, Ja'Cory Brooks found the end zone late in the third quarter. The Crimson Tide topped number 11 Mississippi 30-24. The Crimson Tide's win enabled 7th-ranked LSU to capture the SEC West Division crown. The Tigers got by Arkansas 13-10. Tigers coach Brian Kelly told ESPN,
"It's survived in the SEC. We found a way to win on the road when we didn't have our A game, and you just keep, hopefully we learn how we have to prepare offensively week in and week out in this league."
Elsewhere, 10th-rated Clemson knocked off Louisville 31-16. Clemson extended its home winning streak to 39 in a row. Second-ranked Ohio State dominated Indiana 56-14. Quarterback C.J. Stroud tossed 5 touchdown passes. Number 3 Michigan is 10-0 for the first time since 2006. The Wolverines beat Nebraska 34-3, and 5th-ranked Tennessee bounced back nicely after last week's loss to Georgia. The Vols had their way against Missouri 66-24. In golf, Padraig Harrington was on fire at the third round of the Charles Schwab Cup Championship in Phoenix. Harrington shot a 962 to take a 5-stroke lead into the final round. Tony Finau has a 4-shot advantage heading to Sunday play at the Houston Open. Finau posted a 268 in the third round. He's 15 under par for the tournament. And NFL fans should start getting used to more games in Germany. Commissioner Roger Goodell told a fan forum the league will play at least 4 games in Germany through 2025, with Munich and Frankfurt hosting 2 games each. Sports at 5 and 35. I'm Bob Mortale.
All right, Bob, thank you very much. We're coming back with more next right here. Fox News headlines 24/7 at Sirius XM 115.
From the Freakonomics Radio Network is on Sirius XM.
I'm Steven Duggar from Freakonomics Radio. We have hundreds of episodes from the best way to apologize to the stupidest thing you can do with your money. Freakonomics Radio Network is on the SXM app, including all our trials and popular plans.
G4 is where modern design, youthful energy, and golf's richest traditions intersect. Whether you're a traditionalist or boundary pusher, you'll find your new favorite golfwear without compromising fashion for function. Built to break barriers, our performance-driven apparel and accessories are constructed with maximum comfort and mobility in mind, which put G4 products a step above the rest. Distinguished by our attention to detail and sense of humor, our intent is to disrupt the industry without disrespecting the game's history. G4 takes golf to a more personalized level, creating attire, footwear, and accessories that supports peak performance and individual style. Gone are the days of standard style on the green or unspoken dress codes. Designed in bold hues and unique patterns, G4 is committed to bringing color to your game. Shop best-selling silhouettes and classic styles online or in-store at select locations. Explore G4 at g4.com/fox247 today. Spelled GFORE.com/fox247.
Fox News headlines 24/7.
Fox on Tech.
Apple's AirDrop can make life and work so easy. You can send anything really directly to another person without an email or a text. It goes from device to device directly, not through servers. There's no delay and there is no one monitoring it or blocking it. Because of that, AirDrop has been popular with freedom protesters in places like China, allowing them to share posters and infographics or even video documentation of state police abuses without being blocked at the server level. Except China, where Apple builds the iPhones it sells you, doesn't like that. And with this week's release of iOS 16.1.1, Bloomberg reports Apple's AirDrop to Everyone setting now has a 10-minute timer inside China. After 10 minutes, it automatically changes settings to one's contacts only. Such a setting makes it harder to transmit to a wide group of people at once. With Fox on Tech, I'm Evan Brown, Fox News.
All right, well, thank you very much, Evan. Fox News headlines 24/7. On the man in charge of protection at the border now out the door.
President Biden has accepted the resignation of Christopher Magnus, the head of U.S. Customs and Border Protection. Magnus reportedly had been facing internal criticism for the way he's handled the flood of migrants at the U.S. southern border.
And that is Fox's John Scott. This comes days after Homeland Security Secretary had asked Magnus to step down, but he refused. South Carolina Republican Senator Lindsey Graham expected to testify this week before a Georgia grand jury about what role he played in the aftermath of the 2020 election 2 years ago. Fox's Jessica Rosenthal with more on that.
Earlier this month, the U.S. Supreme Court refused to side with Senator Lindsey Graham, and that means he will testify before the Fulton County grand jury. Senator Graham had argued he shouldn't have to testify, that the speech and debate clause applies to him because he was conducting work after the 2020 election that regards his legislative duties. The Supreme Court said he could still testify and not answer questions pertaining to those duties. The Fulton County District Attorney says Graham was calling Georgia's Secretary